Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another awesome Corvette video. Today we're looking at headlights and putting in some LED ones. So I picked these up on Amazon yesterday and they arrived today. And inside this box is one very, very nice looking LED headlight. Ta-da! So I'm excited about putting this in because, as you saw in my last video, these lights are not very bright. So I think this one is just a single beam and this one looks like it's got high-low inside, so I'm going to try replacing this. I'm fairly certain that this won't fit without some modification, so I'm going to remove this bezel with 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. I'm going to take this bezel off and go from there. Once you get those 4 screws removed, 2 long ones on the sides, 2 short ones in the center, though one of them didn't seem to be making very good contact, if at all. But once you do that, then this should just lift right on out of there like that. And now I should be able to get this guy out of there. Wow, I wish I'd have done that when I was replacing those actuators. This makes it a lot easier to get around in this little area. Well, the cool thing about this connector is I just plug this into my headlight socket and it fits perfectly. So the only reason we can't use these in our cars is because of this big ass thing on the back. I mean, if somebody would just redesign that so that it would fit into the space that this does, that would be really, really awesome. I don't know that there's really an easy way to compare them, but you can see the back side is substantially larger. Whether this is even going to allow for any room for adjustment, I don't really know. So I'm going to do my best to try to make it fit. So right now what I'm working on here is the LED adapter ring that I've designed. It adapts LED headlights to the light mounting setup used in the 76 Corvette, and probably a shit ton of other GM vehicles from that year and many other years, I would guess. This is just a prototype, hence why it's honeycombed inside. It's not going to be as solid and stable as a full solid version, but there's a 2-hour difference in print time, and there's quite a substantial difference in the amount of material used. Okay, so the original headlamps, they have this cup that the bulb sits in. So this is just a regular incandescent bulb, and it's very shallow this way, and right out the back of it is where the prongs come to plug into the light connector, like this one. So as you can see here, this metal cup is bolted or screwed to a sort of a beauty ring that goes around, and then on the outsides here we have a screw that when you turn this, it adjusts the angle on the y-axis, and then if you do the same with this one on the top, it adjusts the angle on the x-axis. Boop, boop, boop. Anyways, and then on the bottom here we have a spring that hooks into the metal cup that this is sitting in. So the problem occurs when you want to put in one of these headlights. The back side with all these heat sinks and whatnot is far larger than this cup right here. So if I hold that there, let me see if I can do this. You should be able to see that this one is a lot larger. It'll still fit up in here, but you can't use that cup. So I was thinking, gosh, how can I 3D print something that will work for this? And this is what I've come up with. This ring takes the place of the metal cup part. And the way this works is, I'm going to use this later. I'm not advertising for any companies, by the way. Nobody pays me anything. That's why I'm going to try not to show any labels anymore, because I don't want to give free advertising, and I don't want to be pinged as advertising. So, not advertising. Sorry if I just blew your speakers out. Okay, so I'm going to take this, and on the back side of these, there's just one notch. And I have configured this with a number of notches to accommodate different lights. So the way this goes on is this way. You can see the tab on the back side. Oops, right there. That needs to go away from the light. So you put that on this way, and this one's going to go like that. So that notch will snap in, and that's how that ring goes, is right there. Kind of hard to show with one hand. And then on the front of that goes this ring, and I'm going to attach them with two hands and then come right back. So I have the beauty ring screwed down to the plastic ring now. So you just use the smaller of the two holes, and you use the screws that were in the beauty ring, and you just screw them into the holes till they're snug. Don't over tighten it. They fit really nicely. This doesn't have any problem holding the stress of that screw, so that will hold that together just fine. So now what I'm gonna, and then on this side, what you want to do is this. I gotta pop that back up in there, but this is what you want to bend this screw tab down, ignore this hole, and then that tab is going to be hooked onto the spring, and I'll show you that now. So first thing I want to do is plug the plug back in. Alright, so I've plugged that back in, and next I'm going to very carefully hook this. I don't know if I can see that. Oh, I see what's happening. This is popping out. Alright, so you want to hook that spring in there like that. The future versions, I have a fix for this that'll be better. So once you get that hooked in there, then what you want to do, what I'm doing, and the reason I have this lube, is I'm going to use a little bit of that just on these threads to kind of lube them up slightly. It really helps a lot when putting them back in there, because they can rust, and you want that to be nice and smooth when you're turning it. So in order to put those in straight, you have to pull out slightly on the spring side of the light. I can't show you that because I don't have a tripod out here right now, but it's pretty simple. So like on this one, see how the spring is on that? You would hook the spring like I did here, and then pull out on the spring side as you put these screws back in and line them up. So with these screws, they're just going to go straight up through these holes like this. Where is it there? And because there's spring tension on this, they don't need to ride inside the frame like on that. I don't think those even needed to. But this will screw in and hold it really well. So I'm gonna lube these up and get that process started, and then I will come back. Okay, well this one is not working out as nicely as the other side did, and the reason why is because these particular lights have a varying degree of distance between these fins on this side versus the other side. Just happens to fit really well over there, but here, no joy. This fin is in my way. I really need to be able to tear that out, but I can't. And this thing here is too thick to go between these, and I don't want to mess with that because that's original to the car. So I'm sort of torn. The problem is getting this screw to go through and hold. So I'm thinking I might just replace that with a screw. And I've had to loosen this screw in order to give a little bit of distance between the plastic adapter and that. But now the headlight, it's just not the way I want things to be done. So I think I'm just going to go find a screw and a nut that will replace that. For now, anyway. It's not going to... It's going to make adjusting the lights harder, but I don't know. Maybe it'll work for now. Okay, so this is not the most elegant way to do this, but I found a really nice lag bolt that fits through here. Now what's cool is that if you put a nut on the end of this, I wish, unfortunately I don't have a plastic lock nut for this size bolt that I can find anyways, so I'm just going to put 2 on. But what's nice is that the tighter you tighten this up, the more this kind of wedges up in there, and I believe this is plastic, so be careful with these. Might be die cast, I'm not sure, but probably plastic, so be careful with that, don't break it. But if you do, I mean, you can remove it and replace it or put something else there, but this keeps that nicely in place, and now she's nice and firm. I haven't adjusted them as far as the light goes, but I am going to go turn on the lights and see what it looks like. Okay, so it is light out still, but there they are. Oops, a piece of tree. So there they are. I haven't really adjusted them yet. This one on this side looks like it needs to be rotated slightly, so I'll fix that. But that looks pretty cool. So hopefully they'll be bright enough. So that is just not on brights. So let's go turn the brights on and see what that looks like. That's pretty bright. All right, there we go. So we have both incandescent and LED, and wow, they are all quite bright. Alright, I better not waste any more battery.
6 hours later.
Alright, so the buzzer is going to come on when I do this. I'm going to do just the new LED low beams, and then I'll kick on the high beams. So those look pretty good, actually. And then the high beams are pretty damn bright. So, wow, that looks really good already. So I'm pretty jazzed, man. I should be able to see the road. Yay! I still need to adjust them, though. So I don't want to leave that on right now. So it's been cold and breezy out here. It's getting dark, and I'm just sitting in the car reading. It's so nice. I love sitting out here, just sitting in my vet, not doing much. It's so comfy. I can't wait to drive her again. Yay! I get to go drive her again soon.